Good morning. Don't be nervous. I'm not going to quiz you. The Gospel of today from St. Luke, if we read it again and again and again, it's very straightforward. And what comes to mind, it's comparison between the Pharisee and the tax collector. But the background of this particular gospel is not about them. It's not about what the Pharisee can do and what the tax collector cannot do. It is the response to God's invitation when God is in front of them. This is about prayer. And comparison for us human beings is so common. We compare each other. I like your dress better than her. And it reminded me of my brothers. There's 4 of us in the family. I have an elder brother who's so good in sports. He played basketball in college. My 2 younger brothers were so good in hockey, which they played also in college. So, where's Marlon? I'm in the middle, the unforgotten one. That's why I became a priest. I'm kidding. So they were so good with sports. So when I was growing up, oh my goodness, we're going to play PE. I don't like it. And then I trained myself to be good at school. So I can tease my brothers and compete with them in different level. Because when you're good at school, obviously your parents will give you what? Gifts and more gifts. You got an A? I'll give you more money. You play sports? Go to your dad and see him what he can give you. And that's my childhood memory about comparison and a little bit of competition. I'm sharing you this because I was talking to my younger brother yesterday and had a couple of kids now. And he's seeing his kids like what we experienced when we were younger. He's trying to compare each other. And I said to him, hold on a minute. To compare your sons or your daughters with each other is no good. Look what happened to us. And I said, it's not about comparison or competition. It's about recognizing your skills, your strong points, and your weak points. And that's where the harmony of our family started to grow. We don't look at each other as you're the best, you're the worst athletes in the family. But it's not about comparison. As I said, recognizing what you can do as a good person, and for us Christians, what can't we do? And how can we connect this comparison story about my family to the gospel? Now, the Pharisee, I want you, don't judge quite yet. The Pharisee did what he's supposed to do. He paid his dues to go to the temple, prayed, fast. Those are good things. Now, it was his duty to do all those righteous things in that parable. In his life, he needed to do that. He needed to go to the temple and pray. In the ancient times, when you go to the temple, there were the insiders. So the sinners, the tax collector, is an outsider. They were on the other side of the temple. The reason why the tax collector was from a distance, because the tax collector is the sinner in a very, very low class, that he had or they don't have any way to pay those sins back. They don't have any way to pay all those debts. That's why he was in the corner praying in the eyes of the mercy of God, hoping that I will do it and I will be saved through my prayer. So, the Pharisee will go home, be the righteous, and do the same thing over and over again. That is okay. But for the mercy of God in this tax collector, it's how you pray. So this is very important in this gospel. It's not about who is the greatest, who is not the greatest. It's not about comparison between the Pharisee and the tax collector. It's how you pray. And yesterday, I had a very interesting conversation with Father Dennis. I finally met Father Dennis. I thought he was an invisible man, his invisible friend, Father Dennis, but I never met the guy. And finally, yesterday, we had this conversation about Mass. And then there's a part of the Mass before the Our Father. I forgot already. And we say, Our Father. And one kid at the school asked me, why do you change the word say to pray? Because when we say, it's just like a conversation. But when we pray, we mean it. We pray the Our Father. And this is the reason why the apostles asked Jesus, teach us how to pray. They did not say, teach us how to say Our Father. So that's why I changed it to teach us how to pray, because my greeting to you earlier, we pray because it is our own heart's desire. Our prayer rests not in our head, not in our mouth, but prayer rests in our heart. When we pray, we give everything to God. Because you know what? God gives everything to us. The gift of Jesus Christ Himself. So, my prayer for you is not to compare one another, but to recognize each other as unique gifts from God. I have a friend from Ireland, not Father Dennis. I'm working with my relationship with Father Dennis right now. I have a good friend from Ireland, and he visited me one time here in the United States. And we tend to forget, then when we go to the grocery store, I said to him, okay, go and get whatever you want, and I'll do my own thing. He said, all I need right now is a tea. So he went to the tea section, and then I finished my grocery shopping, and I was looking for this friend of mine, and I found him in this tea section. And he was just standing there, looking and checking each brand of teas. Just pick one. And he said, in my hometown, we just have breakfast tea, and that's it. In the United States, give me a tea, and they will give you the entire market full of tea. And help me to think about this experience with this gospel, because we are given so many things and choices. And hopefully, in life, we choose good things. Because in life, in this earth, to compare one another is okay, because our society gives us that opportunity. You're going to play for Dodgers or the Cubs? What would you like? Because we have a choice in life. What colleges do you want to go to? What babies do you like? What hospital do you want to go? And we have a choice. And for us today, we pray to God to have a good choice so that we can envision how God works in mysterious way for us, because not many people experience God in a good way for any reason at all, for any reason. For us who has the mind of a Christian, who has a heart to love God more and more, and to have a spirit and soul to forgive one another, we share God for those people who doesn't know God and those who are struggling in different ways, because it is our choice. And hopefully the choice will be good. Not to be the Pharisee, not to be the tax collector, but God who forgives, who loves, and full of mercy.